Hey, welcome to Out and About with Next Pittsburgh. We are here in Oakland. I'm Boaz. This is John behind the camera, and we are getting a tour of Rick Sebak's office today. Rick is one of my favorite Pittsburghers. He's been creating wonderful documentaries for WQED and PBS for over 30 years, and today we're getting an exclusive tour of his office. So come on inside. And it looks like Rick, what are you looking through right now?
Well, there's always stuff to be cleaned up here in my office, and I just thought because these things are leaning that way, I thought maybe I could make room for them in here. And of course, everything in here is sort of interesting, and some of them are really old. And this is from the credits for Flying Off the Bridge to Nowhere. There's the word nowhere. Back when, before computer graphics, before everything was done, that way you had to make these black cards. And I think we had nowhere fly on. I don't know. Say, as he's flying off the bridge. And I
Wow,
guess
this is pre-Photoshop days.
yes, yes. So this is the ancient way, and here's another one that says a production of WQED Pittsburgh. So, our neighbor Fred Rogers.
Is there a favorite Pittsburgh place that no longer exists that you miss the most?
Ooh, other than the O, because I
Yeah.
already talked about the O. Um, Boy, what else do I miss? I I'm trying to think of. I d- I've never been a biggest sports fan, but we often talk here about you know, and I did go to Forbes Field as a boy, but we often think about in the springtime how nice it would be to walk from QED over to Forbes Field and see a ball game, and you can't do that anymore. I mean, it's long gone. It went away in 1970. I think was the last season at Forbes Field, and it closed after that. Three River Stadium opened, and that's even gone. But I think there was sort of a magic involved in having a big ballpark in Oakland. It would have been so much fun, and we never. Since I've been working here, could never do it.
Sure. Do you have a favorite dish to cook or bake for the holidays?
No question. My cookies. I make what my mom called cowboy cookies, and my sister said she has the original recipe. I think out of like Women's Day magazine or maybe out of a Betty Crocker cookbook. Um, and my mom made them by that. And I actually have a typed version of my mom's recipe that my mom typed on index cards, just like she did everything. My mom was secretary, assistant, or whatever you want to call them. But she was a great typist, and um, but I have since adapted them over the years. I've just learned that I can add anything, and so my mom never put nuts or dried fruit or alcohol, and I put all those things in great quantities, and I think on the little type recipe it says 2 cups of rolled oats or any cereal that's in the cupboard.
If you could interview any Pittsburgher, living or dead, who would you want to interview? Who would you want to do a half-hour special with?
A half hour, boy. If you have anyone, I mean, huh? I've always said I think the most famous Pittsburgher of all time is H.J. Hines. And I would like him just because I think he probably loved food as much as I do. And, it would be interesting to just talk to him. Because although I think we associate him with the North Side and, where the Heinz plants were across from the Strip, he was born on the South Side when it was still a city called Birmingham. So I would think I would, you know, even over Andrew Carnegie or uh, anybody else, I think I'd be interested to talk to H.J. Hines and, you know, ask him about pickle pins and ketchup and all those things. It would just be fun.
Well, I hope science can make that happen because I would like to watch that special. And what year did you move into this office?
Oh, that's a hard question. When I first started here, this was an editing room, film editing. Uh,
Oh wow, you're slicing.
yeah, I mean, and I didn't ever make a film here. I made a film when I worked in South Carolina for public television, but this is where they would have edited the National Geographic specials. So originally I was up on the second floor in what's now a conference room, but that's where local programming was when I started in 87. So I'm going to guess I'm up there for probably 10 years. That's 97. Um, but I've been here for quite a while. So I'm going to say around the year 2000, that may be 21 years I've been in here, because that's how you accumulate all this stuff. And I've used it in my show about 17 objects. I did a thing about Pittsburgh and history of Pittsburgh and 17 objects. Some of those objects are here, and little memorabilia from all of my shows and old VHS tapes. And can't look at VHS. Or I don't have a VHS player anymore, but it's nice to have them here. And so that's about it. I think 20 years probably in this long hallway.
And so this August Wilson one is airing. I mean, I guess the best thing to do is go to Qed and check the schedule and search for August Wilson.
Yeah, if you go to the schedule, you can just put in, it's called Brain Space and Energy, but I think probably August Wilson will work better too. Brain Space. Search for Brain Space.
And I know the day after Christmas, day after Christmas on the 26th, you can also watch A Very Quick History of an Unusual TV Station at 12:30 p.m.
You know more than I do, but that's a show we did during the pandemic with Rich Capaldi, and I'm very happy about it. It was a request. I think Lily Moscow, who's one of our vice presidents, had asked me to do it. I don't know, for a fundraising reason or something. Could you put together a little history of WQED, because it was our 67th anniversary, I think. And I said, well, yeah, I could try to do that. But then I realized you couldn't do it in 15 minutes or whatever. And I said, can we have a half an hour? And they said, yeah. So we made a half-hour program. But it was so much fun to look back at all that had been done here, from the earliest days when Fred and Josie made Children's Corner, to the National Geographic years, to the years of great science programming that we did here, and on to today. So,
did you uncover anything that you'd never heard of before?
Yeah, probably. But I'm not remembering right off the top of my head. But
yeah, it was like a year ago now, probably.
Yeah, but no, because there've been such a variety of people. Oh, yeah, there was a whole slew of programs that tried to address racial inequality and stuff like that, but neighborhoods and stuff in Pittsburgh that I think, like, oh, I made the neighborhood programs. No, there was a lot. There was a whole like an hour on Squirrel Hill, and I just think that it's been a place with a good heart, and and I think all of that is public television. It seems to have its head in the right place.
And is there another, now that you're wrapping up August Wilson, is there something on deck?
We're talking about and it's really Rich, my editor, who's been the driving force, but he wants us to try a podcast. And I think that's maybe what we do next, or try it anyway.
Well, I would definitely listen. So, yeah, thanks so much.
Actually, you were the one who put me on a podcast. That's how I met you.
Yeah, it's true. And I guess, well, it's the holiday season. Do you have a favorite Pittsburgh holiday tradition?
Walking through the Strip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, it feels good. There's so many people, and, I think it's still probably not back. People are wearing masks and things like that, but there's something about the Strip that, I think will maybe even survive gentrification.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for inviting us into your office.
And thank you for this.
And happy holidays, and we'll see you in the new year on Out and About with Next Pittsburgh.